Tea time. Did you hear the story about the man who was homeless for a long time and finally got his own place? And when he moved in, he started registering himself so he can finally receive some mail. But when he started getting mail, there were notices from banks, credit cards, loans, and he was like, wait a minute, what's happening? I know I didn't do any of this. So he went to one of the banks who had a local branch, and he walked in and said, hey, I'm William Woods. I hear that there is a bank account under my name here, but it's not mine. I need to close it. Well, the bank's like, hold on, let's check for a second. Yes, we do have a bank account under your name. However, are you saying that this isn't you? He said, no, this isn't me. Let's close this account. But they said, before we do that, let's call the number that's listed on this bank account. And they called the phone number, and a man picks up and says, yes, this is William Woods. And he's like, what? And they're like, sir, are you sure you're William Woods? And the man on the phone is like, yeah, I'm William Woods. And yes, this is my bank account. Well, the bank hangs up, and they call the police, and they have this man arrested for identity fraud. While he's in jail, he's like, I don't understand what's happening. I'm William Woods. Why am I having to fight for my own identity? When he gets out of jail, he's starting to spend some time trying to make it to court to get his identity back. And eventually they do make it in front of the judge, and the other William Woods is there. And the other man is saying, I'm William Woods. Look, I have all of my paperwork together. And he's like, no, I'm William Woods. And the judge actually sentences him to time in a mental hospital because they say he's being delusional. Once he gets out of the mental facility, he's still fighting for his life, trying to assume his own identity back, and he doesn't know what to do. So he's doing his own research, and he finds out where the William Woods works at, and the man works in IT at a university, and he makes like $140,000 a year. So he contacts the university, and he tells them what is going on and said, your employee there has stolen my identity. You guys need to investigate. So they do, and they look through their records, and they say, no, well, he has a social security card, he has a driver's license, and he even has a birth certificate. So he finally makes it back to court again, and they're standing in front of the judge, and he's like, can we do a DNA test? So they grant him the DNA test, and they test William Woods' family and the imposter's father. And of course, it comes up that they aren't a match. It turns out that the imposter's name is Matthew, and he and William Woods had met more than 20 years earlier while they were working at a hot dog cart together. After Matthew stopped working at the hot dog cart with William, he moved to a new state and used William's name and birth date to get a driver's license, which enabled him to get a social security card too. When things got tricky and he actually needed to produce a birth certificate, he went on Ancestry.com, looked up William Woods' family, used the family lineage information to present to authorities so that they could issue him a birth certificate. So legally, he was officially William Woods. After all this information came to light, of course, Matthew was arrested. Now he's waiting to be sentenced, where he could face up to 30 years in prison for identity fraud.